Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam. What we're going to do, we're going to bet some Wnba in this video. For those of you who remember, my play on the YouTube channel hit yesterday. I also had a couple plays on the Discord that hit yesterday. I went 3-0 total with my Wnba plays yesterday. I went 2-1 the day before, 2-0 the day before that. Just having an incredible streak with the Wnba. So that's what this is going to be about, my Wnba best bets. But before I get into it, I did want to talk about the OddsJam Discord that was recently launched earlier last week. It's exactly what it looks like, right? It's a community for sports bettors. It's a way you can talk to other sports bettors, get our best picks, ask any questions you might have about positive EV strategies, sports betting education. We do have some premium channels, so if you do want to pay for a little bit of our extra, more expert picks, you can do that. But there's a ton of free stuff that we offer as well. Trophies, which is just our biggest hits specifically from the Discord. So the rule with the trophies is that it had to have been posted somewhere in the Discord, or else you can't post it because that's kind of cheating. So the link for it is in the description of the video. I definitely recommend checking it out. And in terms of my Wnba best bets, let's go through it. So just scrolling through the page, we see a ton of value or a ton of plays specifically on the Seattle Storm versus Indiana Fever under. I'll get to that in a little bit because I actually already locked that one in. The bet is right here. I'll talk about that one in a little bit, but let's start locking in bets that let's start locking in bets. So number one, the one that jumped out to me was this Washington Mystics versus Minnesota Lynx. First half over 81.5. No, I actually took the full game over on this one at over 160. The odds are no longer in my favor. But let's look at this half one and see if there's a lot of value here. So number one, I know there's at least value because it's positive expected value, right? The OddsJam line prices this at minus 134 with the VIG removed is at about minus 120, 25 cents in market width, so right at the cap, but still within range. Equates to a profit margin of roughly 4%. So right off the bat, we see that this is a little bit of a discrepancy from the OddsJam line as well as the BetRivers line. But the real kicker and the real way you can find value in the Wnba is you have to compare the markets. And let's just see what we're looking at here, right? WinBet has this total at 81.5. The OddsJam line, like I said, priced at minus 122, minus 130. But every other book, even BetRivers, prices this total above this number. And for a first half, getting extra points is really, really valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in. Looking at my calculator, this is about close to a 5-unit mixed slam, about a 4-unit bet. But I think this one's great. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in. First half over, it was 81.5. Minus 110 odds, so I'm going to put 115 on this one, so just under a 5-unit mixed slam. Place bet, and we're good to go. So this is my first bet that I am locking in for these Wnba plays. And let's just talk about this one for a little bit. I did want to lock this one in before the math changed on me. So it looks like the EV percent is actually a little bit lower. It looks like the line shifted a little bit, but it's still something that I think is worth taking, so it's definitely I still recommend you taking it as well. So we saw the gap between all these sports books, right? And this is really where I've been able to find the most success with the Wnba. I do a little bit of handicapping myself. I go to WNBA.com. I know the teams a little bit. But really, what it comes down to is just finding value like this. Finding situations where you're getting a positive expected value play on some sort of total or spread, and then you compare across all the other markets, and you see just crazy discrepancies. Literally every other book prices this total above 81.5, and we're getting over 81.5. PointsBet, Caesars, BetRivers, BetOnline have this at 82. BetMGM, FanDuel, DraftKings, Tipico, and then the OddsJam line, which obviously we know as the sharpest line, has this a full point above at 82.5. So this equates, as of the lines odds currently stand, profit margin of just under 3%. And this profit margin is incredibly important to understand. This is essentially what you can view as your mathematical profit that you will make per every $100 bet on this specific bet. So I know $2.93 doesn't sound like a lot. I will say that I end up betting totals that are lower with the Wnba plays because you can still find value even at lower numbers just from just from comparing to markets exactly like I just did. So I ended up betting some that are a little bit lower, like the 2.93, the 2.54, something I'm going to look at. But like I said, this is what you can expect to make per $100. So you have to keep in mind that while this doesn't seem like a lot for one specific bet, you have to keep in mind that this bet will settle today. And this is only one bet. So you're obviously not placing one bet a day. I have 3 or 4 or 5 WNBA bets on a given day, depending on the WNBA slate. Today is actually an awesome slate. I think there are 4 games today. So yesterday there was only one game. I had 3 plays for those one game. They all hit. And yeah, there's 4 today. So just a ton of value out there. So you have to keep in mind, you're just going to watch your profits continually start to rise from placing these positive expected value bets. You're not going to get rich overnight. So let me refresh this one, get the most recent odds. So it looks like we're looking at another first half over. In this case, looks like it's the Connecticut Sun versus Las Vegas Aces. This one actually makes a lot of sense to me because the Aces have the best offense in the league in terms of points scored, best offense in the league in terms of offensive net rating, and they play at the fastest pace. So everything screams points in the Connecticut Sun versus Las Vegas Aces. And just looking at the value here, it's the same exact logic, right? Every other book prices this total above this number. It looks like, WinBet has it at 86. At PointsBet, FanDuel, Caesars, BetOnline have it at 86.5. DraftKings at 87, as well as actually BetRivers looks like it has it at 87.5, as does BetMGM. And the OddsJam line has this, looks like about 87. So we're getting it a full point, taking it over. Same logic, a full point lower than what every other book has, over 86. So in terms of unit sizing, looks like this one is about a little less than a 3-unit play for me. I'm going to go ahead and put 65 on this one. So what we're looking at here, I need to go back to the WNBA. And what we're looking at here is the Las Vegas Aces versus Connecticut Sun. First half over should be 86 and a half. 86, yep, this is perfect. This is a $65 bet. Place bet. And we are good to go. So those are going to be my 2 plays that I am locking in live on this YouTube channel. And then the last one that I've already locked in, which is this one right here, the Indiana Fever versus Seattle Storm. This one I wanted to put more, but BetRivers wouldn't let me, so I put 149 on it. Whenever you're comfortable betting, put on this total Fever at Storm going under 163. The logic is the exact same, right? If you just look at the markets, you go over to the event page and you just see where every other book is pricing this. 163 is at minus 114 odds. You are buying a point here because it looks like BetRivers truly has this total priced at 162.5, but every other book has this total a full point below, right? It's the same exact logic here. You're just finding examples and pricing discrepancies and you're taking advantage of them. So this is actually my favorite bet of the night, this Storm versus Fever, full game under 163 at minus 114 odds. And just for handicapping reasons, the Fever have like a really, really bad offense, to put it bluntly. If you go to their stats, right, I'm just looking at the WNBA stats. Just look at points per game, they're second to last. Even if you go to advanced stats, the second to last offense. So everything just kind of screams under in this one, which is exactly why I took it and I put the full mix slam on it. And that's going to be it. Those are going to be my 3 plays. So if you're tailing, let me know. I would love to hear it. But that's going to be it. That's going to be all I got for you. So thank you guys for watching and have a good one.